here. We came to ride. You know how we get in the club. What's going on? What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Maze, what's happening, man? Welcome back to the stream. All right. Mr. Brightside, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, sir. Maze says, what do you got? I missed your message. Braveheart, what's going on, my man? Welcome back. Welcome back. Wade, what's happening, man? Oh boy, here come another reverse split. And no, sir. I hope not. Oh man, blood in the streets, blood in these streets. Bloody Sunday. Bloody Monday, actually. Black Monday has returned. Shout out to my man Maine. You know what I'm saying? He had me, he called me with that black coffee. That's what I'm having right now. I'm like, I give him respect on that. So I'm got my mug of black coffee. No sugar, no cream. To celebrate. I don't want to say celebrate because this is crazy. I know a lot of people are freaking out. We saw it. We know what's going on. We know what's happening and we can watch it. But a lot of folks that are not as well tuned or in tune to what's going on in the market as we are here, all taking part in this whole thing and watching it. Some of us profiting off of it, and some are just, you know, on a different wavelength than the average, you know, United States or citizen or whatever, countrywide, anybody anywhere who's investing in the markets. Let's put it that way. I want to use the United States only because I know a lot of folks that are in here, in the group as well, are from abroad, and so on and so forth. So anyone who's investing in markets, right, may not know exactly what's happening and why we are where we are, and all of a sudden, it looks like to a lot of people that may not be as educated, may think the world looks like it's coming to an end right now. Again, this is in some people's world, right? We know what's happening. We know what's up. We've been watching this stuff very closely. We knew where the top was. We knew where the bounce was going to be today. On the SPY, you guys saw in pre-market, we touched 507. 507 was the very top of the gap fill, all right? The very top of the gap fill that we need to hit. You guys have been watching this since before 564. You know this whole play. Those puts, if you guys came along with me on that ride, I went ahead and closed them this morning. Those puts were up 445% from the top where we purchased those at about 564.50, somewhere around that area. All right, so it's interesting to see us down here, right? But again, a lot of people out there are freaking out that may not know what's going on. To them, the news is feeding into a situation where recession is here and this, that, and the third. You know, so to some people it's nothing because we're watching this, but to other people it's a lot. So we got to make sure we are at least thinking about them as well. All right, along the way. So in this turn, let me say hello to everybody who's up in here. Appreciate you guys stopping back in. Steve, what's happening, man? All right. Drift, what's going on? Eric, what's going on? What's happening? Well, to discuss this, as far as this is concerned, right? We knew that this is where we're going to be heading down towards. This may be the start. Now, the one thing I want to pay attention to, if you guys follow, obviously what's happening with the broader, when I say broader market, I mean like the news mediums, the Fed talks and stuff like that. We do have the Jackson Hole Symposium that's supposed to be coming up on the 22nd to 24th of this month. I don't really start to think we see real recovery until then. So until that happens, because that's when Powell speaks, all that good stuff. That's in my opinion. Again, it can happen sooner, but we did not fully fill this gap. Right, I wanted to see this gap fully filled before. This is our target too on the C move we talked about in the C corrective. Right, we knew that we were in an ABC corrective move to the downside. This has been the distribution the entire time after showing signs of weakness from back here. We're in that 440, 545, 530 area we talked about prior to making it up towards 564. All right, this whole entire area was a B, C corrective, which happened very fast. Again, did not expect this to happen probably for a few months, but it all happened all at once. Go figure. Right when AMC and GME were doing their thing. Yeah, okay, I don't know. That's a whole nother story. However, this is kind of where we're at this point. But as far as the SPY and the market's concerned, I'm looking for those moves to start to turn around. Again, we talked about 620. It can happen, but it's going to take a minute. Maybe that's going to be what we could probably see going into the election or after the elections. Again, my area for this to hit was all the way back here to the right side, 505. This happened months beforehand. Again, 505, we still didn't fill that gap. Typically what tends to happen when you don't fill a gap, it's left for a later date for it to be filled. Now, you don't have to fill it. I got to keep saying that. But it's left for a later date for it to be returned to. And it's just a matter of time before it hits it, in my opinion, until we at least get some kind of an answer on what's going to be happening with the market overall. If Jerome Powell says something, maybe bullish or whatever, turns it around. But 620 is still my target on the SPY to the upside after we find this area. So we're going to be in a spot where we are pretty much going to be, I guess you can call it, just waiting, kind of waiting for things to start to show some strength or reversal signs, making sure we watch volume, stuff like that. But yeah, this is everything that you see a bounce that happens now too quickly is a trap. So be careful trying to catch the knives. Myself in the Discord, we did play a couple quick moves off the bounce moves this morning, right, on SPY from about 512 all the way to about 520. Some money was made in there earlier this morning. All right, so we did do that. Also on NVDA. NVDA was a nice move from $92 up to about 102. Some great money made on both of those plays just for the bounce. Right, this does not mean that you can't make money on these moves. The only difference is that the swing play mentality that we've had on the bullish side of things is really not in play anymore. We got to go back to guerrilla style trading. Right, we're in the trenches again. Right, if you guys remember, in the trenches, we played the trenches the entire bear market. Right, it was really hard to make money when things were going down, right? But we played volatility and made some money on that. But in this sense, when we're playing the opposite side of the spectrum, we're now in a correction phase. Your TA has to be like spot on, and you got to be fast. This is not the time to be holding things overnight. This is not the time to play, long term. Nah, it's just you take your money, you take the pops, put the profit in your pocket, and you keep it rolling, keep it moving. So in this case, this is where we're at today, and we took advantage of that volatility. Right, it's volatile. I think I said something this morning. It was pretty crazy. I don't know. Sometimes these little bars come out from nowhere, but it's a volatility creates opportunity. Right, I'm like, I gotta turn that into a damn hat. So volatility, there's opportunity and volatility, something like that, something along those lines. So I'm about to start playing with that, but it's the truth, man, because there was money to be made today off of that bounce move off NVIDIA, off of the bounce move off Apple. Apple ran back from all the way from 196, 197, all the way to 210. Like, that was a big move on Apple. So there's money around here to be made back on that bounce play. We're not out of the woods yet. I don't think the market's really done dropping down. But again, like I mentioned, opportunity was here, presented itself for some big plays, short-term pops. You could have played 0 DTs, 1 DTEs, and really just made a bag off these drops and pushes back up. All right, real quick, made a quick bag and got your money and got right back out. So That's how we playing it, man. We gotta get back. We gotta get back to the. Gotta get back to that mentality. Get in, get out. OG classic, right? All right, what's happening, folks? I see J. Cole back in the room. Eric, what's happening? What's happening? J. Cole. Jason, what's happening, my man? Yo, Lil Spy puts on Friday paid. My man. Hey, Jason knows how to do this thing, man. Congratulations, my friend. Those puts. I know my man J. Cole I think he had a strangle or something like that. I forget what you said exactly when we were in the Discord this morning. But you played a little bit on both sides, just not knowing. But yeah, I saw some messages that came in from X. My man John and Buffett was selling Apple. I mean, Buffett. You start seeing Buffett sell. Yeah, it was a matter of time before this move started to happen. All right, it just you see that. I'm like, all right, well, so I had to post this jokingly posted like, oh, Buffett been watching my tweets. I mean, hey, we caught the top. All right, it's just what it is. So I know that these guys, if I can figure it out, these guys have the resources to do it, to figure this stuff out, right? The resources, the time, the money, the people, the quantitatives, all those folks. So they knew what was coming. They set it up right. They know what was happening. They knew what was up. They knew what to do to draw retail in, so they can just drop the market on them. But you guys have been here. Hopefully, we'll be able to help you weather some of that storm and put some money back in your pockets while this is even happening. While things are setting up for, I think, another one of the largest runs we're going to see in the next little bit. All right, as we go into the time frame of the elections in the U.S. All right, so regardless of what you think politically, I'm talking about just from the perspective of macroeconomics and the United States economy. So an interesting thing to see here was, we were talking about it as well. You went shopping this morning. My man Lewis, what's happening, man? Yeah, shopping this morning was what it was. It was a chance, man. It was a chance. It's a good chance. It's a good shot to go shopping. Now, I'm not saying it's over yet, but yeah, it's a good dip buy opportunity here. I mean, we did again touch 5. We touched the top of the gap fill. We don't have to fill that gap. So don't be surprised if we don't fill it. 505 was the 505, 93, 92, somewhere like that. If we didn't fill it, we don't have to. All right. If we start getting some bullish news and some things start playing out the opposite way, or whatever's coming up on the economic calendar starts to show some positivity, we can move back up towards 525. If we reclaim 525, which again was the area that we talked about as being a potential stop. We've always had 505 on tap on the SPY, right? We've always had that on tap. We never looked at anything outside of 505. It was because of the speed of the move and how fast everything was happening. I said 505 would be a possibility. Look at that. 505 would be a possibility still if things broke down to below 525, and there we are. All right, but in this case, because we did touch that gap, it's not a bad idea to start getting into your positions if you're trying to rebuild or average in or average down on some of your favorite stocks. I'm not talking about the blue chips. I mean the memes in this case. We're just talking about the regular stocks. The memes are a different game, different story, whole different situation. All right, I think a lot of that was orchestrated the way it was orchestrated for the memes as bait to set up for this move. All right, and we were baited in. It happens. What are you gonna do? We did the best we could. We obviously can see. I'm not saying that those moves are over. It's just gonna be another setup. We gotta wait for setups in this market, because in this case, like I said, the longer term moves are going to be defunct a little bit until the market settles down. It's a lot of movement. This is a big move off the market in just a short period of time. So things the dust kind of has to settle a little bit, and then the moves start to set themselves up. You get these opportunity setups to take advantage of them. You get these wedges. You start to get these patterns, and then you take your positions. But right now, don't try to catch these knives, because these knives will hurt. But again, the good value plays, such as the NVDA's being underneath $100, which still can go lower. Again, I'm not saying it's over. The NVIDIA's underneath $100. The Apples, the GME, the Googles, and the blue chips, right? The QQQ stuff. Great opportunities for dip buys. I like this candle off QQQ. All right, these candles are starting to reverse themselves. I mean, it's still ugly. We're down 4% on the entire market. But, you gotta take it with a grain of salt right now, right? That this could be a partial decline in this wedge. We overshot the wedge. We're trying to push down back above somewhere and hold support in this area. All right, which showed some kind of support back here. You can see how this coalesced in this area here. So there is something here to pay attention to. If we can hold this major area, we can potentially start to come around on the blue chips. All right, we can. It's a good spot for it. It would be a decline, a halfway decline on this. If we don't hold this area, you can bet we're going to 380. All right, that would suck. But 380 would be on tap. Right, this would be because it would be this wedge basically retesting itself. We retest the bottom of this wedge, 380, 370. But we need to hold here. So it's a good opportunity, again, like we just talked about, to start to build some positions. But don't expect them to hold. Set some stop losses in case it does go, deeper than what you want it to go. And then you can reset yourself up for potential buys down here in the lower 380s, or $400 mark. Again, still sucks to see it, but opportunity is always around, right? Volatility creates opportunity. All right. All right, J. Cole put play on 525 strike, man. That was money, bro. Congratulations, man. I know you made bank on that. I know you made bank. They knew they helped us, right? They helped us, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we're here for. One more time down, then we're bouncing. Of course. Of course. MMA Uncensored. Welcome back, man. We're gonna talk about the memes, my friend. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to it. We're definitely gonna get to that. I mean, they slammed GME. We're gonna talk about memes real quick and see what's going on. But they slammed GME. GME was down what? 10%. Well, actually more than that. I think it was like 15, 18%, something crazy like that. But GME, let's pull that up. All right, we talk about these every day. We want to make sure we're on tap watching these because we know what we know, and we bounced much deeper. This is again why I was mentioning it to everyone. I know a lot of people don't like the concept of buying puts on GME or AMC, but there are such things as protective puts, right? We had the earnings on AMC the other day. All right. I mean, we could have taken. I don't know if anybody did. All right. You could have taken something small on AMC. I'm not saying don't go crazy, but you could have taken something on that because they didn't move. Obviously, with earnings, it didn't make a difference. We already knew that was going to happen. Earnings was a dud. It's a complete nothing burger. All right. We knew that was probably going to be the case, and the chart supported it. We talked about it being an arch, right? We talked about that arcing pattern that was showing itself on AMC. I'm going to pull that up real quick, and then we'll talk about GME because AMC just had earnings, let's at least discuss that. Bear with me 1 second here. All right. So with that being the case, AMC had that earnings set up. And it was starting to form that arc pattern we were talking about, all right, that H. So it did lose the uptrend briefly. All right, it did lose it, which is all set up for earnings, all set up for a push down on the market, the bait and switch situation, which we got hit with the okie doke. So let's hide the indicators for now. We'll take a look at this particular setup. And you see that we had this push down. This now turned in from a large wave 3 setup into this lowercase h we talked about. This lowercase h pushed it down. We talked about it briefly when it started to make that move going into earnings, and now they basically broke us back down. Not saying that this move is over. This still could be a fake out. It's just going to take a while for it to now try to reclaim this area. We need AMC to get back above 492. When we get back above 492, we'll be back within this bull channel, and then we'll be back off to the races again. But until it does, we're kind of wallowing along with the rest of the market. We're not really sure where the market wants to go until it decides to make a move. So here we are again, right back to where we left off. I mean, there was nothing really that came out of the earnings call that was ground shaking, which we talked about. I said he's going to need a quintuple entendre. We didn't get one. It was just as straightforward, peanut butter and jelly as you can get. All right, he said all the wrong things that said absolutely nothing. All right, all the right things that said absolutely nothing. I mean, they were positive. You know, they're making a lot more money per patron, which is great. Last time even the AMC, I mean, we don't pay that much, obviously, for cost-wise. Maybe you have points and stuff like that, built up a couple over time, and whatever the case is. But an average date to AMC is, you know, average is $100 now. You can't go to AMC for 2 people and not spend $100. It's not happening. So it's the truth. They're making more money per patron. I can believe that. Obviously, we didn't hear a lot of different things in terms of what's happening with revenues. I didn't hear that as far as revenues from popcorn or chocolates, or I would love to have heard more about that from a fundamental perspective, but you know, didn't get it. Maybe that's going to be written somewhere else. I didn't dive into paperwork on that, but it is what it is. But again, the setup on the chart was starting to look bearish after we had that rejection off of this broadening top pattern. All right, this one. 544 was the top of the wedge, and they jumped it right on time with the rest of the market to push it down. So no matter what he would have said anyway, the market already decided that they wanted to dump this stock just a little bit to shake a few people off. And they did. All right, but we need to get back. In order for this to recover, we need to get back above $4.92 and hold it, which would put us back within this wedge, which would put us back within this channel, and then we can start talking about rebuilding to get back above 527, which is the line. All right. Good thing about this, it is holding this area. The only good thing about it, we need to see it hold above 469 the same way it did last time. 414, 419 held. All right, here. I think we hit 414 this morning. So that's a good location to actually hold. So technically, it'd be a triple bottom here in this situation. That'd be 1, 2. This would be a third time test of this. So we have a range now, a clear range between 413 and 550. All right, about $1 and change range. So could this be another bottom? I think so. Triple bottom setup, possibly pushing us back towards 492, and then we can start to play this upside again. But until that happens, we kind of got to just wait. Good thing about it here is that we're up above 469, which was one of our levels. So let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll move on to GME. All right, so one of our levels here, 469. There's my lines. Okay, so here go my lines, which are the key levels on this stock. All right, just basic key levels. All right, one of the key levels we've had here for quite a while. You guys have been watching. You guys have been here. Anybody who hasn't, we like to talk about key levels here. We know what the creek lines are. We know where our major resistances and supports are, and then that's just basically how we play. But in this case, 469, 470, 475. These are going to be 30 moving averages on multiple different time frames. However, the more important ones are the creek lines. All right, the creek lines are 469, 510, 513, and then 5 up in this 5-hour range. The area of, I guess you can call it control, has been 527. All right, and this is why we've been having so much trouble with this over the last several months now to get back above 527. But we need to reclaim this area as soon as possible in order for this thing to push back up. The one good sign that we've seen is that high volume push this morning and pre-market, keeping this above here, above $4.14, above $4. As long as above $4, there's a fighting chance. When we start breaking 4, we lose this triple bottom area, then we got trouble. But so far, we're still in play until we're not. All right. I think we were talking about weekly sell-off levels, weekly sell-off signals that are starting to show themselves. But again, it was all around the market sell-off as well. So everything is just timed really good. These guys are good at what they do. What can I say? What can I say? All right. Let's see. Can we talk about the memes though? We got that. Keep your eye on Snap. All right. We'll take a look at Snap. Hood got murdered. Yeah, Hood's going to get murdered, man. If the memes are going to get shot down, Hood's going to be the first one to take a hit because that's where everybody does their trading. I mean, I was on last night on Hood looking up, again, that's a major thing for AMC for meme buyers is right to be able to have access to the 24-hour market on Hood. It's just what it is. So that's one of those spots everybody looked at. When I saw everything was knifing, I'm like, at 8 o'clock, I pull up futures and I go right on Robinhood right away to see what's going on in terms of what our certain stocks are looking like. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, we might be talking about Black Monday here, man, because this is not a joke. Right, to drop that hard at the BOJ, Bank of Japan, down 6% yesterday. I'm like, yo, the market's a wrap. So it's happening. It happened, and you guys saw it, and we called the top, man. I mean, look, there's nothing else I can say besides that. All right. Yeah, definitely was the same old BS, man. There's really nothing on that call, right? Wait. Pushed out the debt. We knew that already. We obviously got the push, but it still was a little too much for the rest of the market. The rest of the market was too much for it. All right, it's just a little bit too much for it. You can't. Negative beta is nice, but you can't deny the. You can't be the lonely boat in the ocean, man. Especially when the tide's coming in, like I always say. All right. I wish I had money. Great for it. It is good long. It is good long term. And Paul, I don't know if he's in here right now, but Paul, we talked with Paul about it. It is a value play. Right, at this point, AMC is still a value play. No matter what's going on in recession, all of that, AMC's been around and survived 100,000 recessions already. Well, not really. I'm exaggerating, but it's survived 2 or 3, well, multiple. But we've survived depressions. Right, so it is a value play still, nonetheless. So. It's a value play at $4. It's just got to take time for the value to actually show itself. And if we're talking 2026, 2029, all that, so be it. Let's check out GME real quick here, man. Let's go to the next thing. See GME. GME got slammed down pretty hard. It has gone back and retested the weekly breakout. All right, this is, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, when I called that GME was going to run to $80. The reason I knew that was because of a platinum cross-up. We talked about this a couple times here, and I also knew where we were going to drop on the after rejection of 29.49. All right, we got the rejection here. We broke that, caused us to break the longer term, but more the recent term run up after we broke up toward the $80 mark in the most recent squeeze. All right, once you lost that uptrend, obviously you trickled down. We have now gone back and we have retested this level here as of this morning, which was the weekly breakout of around $17. All right, this is the area. Now, this is the area that caused the squeeze. All right, the squeeze that we had. Now, you can see it here. This is on the 4-hour time frame after you retested the long-term downtrend over the over 3-year downtrend. All right, that's this guy from the first squeeze back in 2021. You can see it was retested. Once it broke to the upside, you got the squeeze push up towards $80. All right, that could have been the reason I was able to pinpoint that was again because of the daily. This is the daily cross up, platinum cross up, which I live by at this point. All right, and I was able to. I said this is game over if we cross. We're going to $80, no joke. I posted this on X. If we get this move, and that's what we got was a daily cross up that caused that squeeze move, which also was a breakout of the downtrend, and you got this push all the way up to $80. All right, we have now just gone back and retested it. It's a little more apparent on the 2-day, but the 1-day, let me remove these creek lines. This is a creek line that was a break above, which got that squeeze. We've broken below that. On the 2-day, we are finding support on the EMA. This is the 800. All right, so luckily we're finding some support here, which is why you're getting this bounce. However, we are still underneath the $20 mark at this point, which is not that positive. The only one thing you got going for us right now on GME is that this is all on low volume. The volume is like nothing compared to what it was when we were moving to the upside. So that tells you eventually this will reaccumulate. But right now we need to hold roughly around no more. I mean, we retested that breakout level, which again was at $17. We hit it this morning, $17.58. We're below it still, but once you get above it, things will look a little bit better. But we need to get roughly back above $20 and at least 40 cents, $20.49 for things to really start to play back toward the upside. That could take a while. It's not all going to happen at once. All right, but it is still in position or in a setup for it. It's just going to take a while. You can't just get beat down by 50% and all of a sudden you're going to go run back up, 10,000. So it's going to take a while for it to rebuild the momentum, rebuild its position. Good thing is that we have retested some levels here, but we just need to reclaim some creeks and get back above that $20 mark to have some positivity start showing. We need to see some heavy volume pushing this thing right back to the upside to get it back above 20. The longer we stay below 20, the worse it's going to wind up being. We can push back as low as $15 on GME, which would absolutely suck and probably cost a lot of people a lot of money that were expecting this thing to go a lot higher. All right, so we just got to watch it here, guys. But we're in a spot here while the rest of the market is kind of winning the battle. I mean, you can't go concentrate the market. You can in some cases, but it just doesn't look great. You got a platinum cross down on GME right now on the 4-hour time frame. Obviously, this happened with the dump off this morning, which caused obviously a major drop to the downside. We're hopefully now starting to bounce. We would need this 4-hour to reverse, which will take several days for it to reverse, as long as it can hold above 17 bucks. You start getting above 20, that's even better. 21, 24, $23 and change, and then you need to play this right back up toward this gamut, through this gauntlet, I should say, to get back towards all these levels. But for now, as long as we're under 20 bucks, tough location. So we need to reclaim that first, obviously, psychological number. Second of all, we just need the reaccumulation start to happen, and that won't happen until we start to see the market start to find some support. So give that a little bit of time. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go back to the market. We'll keep an eye on AMC, GME in the meantime. I mean, it's a good buy location, especially AMC at least holding above 469. Holds above 469. I think it's got some chance to move up. GME needs to hurry up and get above 20 bucks, $20.03 at least. All right. Let's see here. What else we got cooking here? So NVIDIA is back to holding the psychological number of $100. All right, so it's trying to hold and recover here. NVIDIA. And the funny thing is, I gotta also mention, this setup here on NVIDIA, on the market in general. Like it's one of those situations, man. It's you guys probably seen. I'm gonna pull it up real quick, and you let me know if you guys have seen this before. Hold on a minute. Let me go back to SPY. SPY back up at 519, 520. SPY actually has a chance to move back to 525. All right, it does, because 525 was the area that I expected it to hit. Didn't expect it to break this fast, but it will try to test it as resistance. Okay, and if it does hit and it is resistance, SPY's not done dropping. All right, so just remember that. But 525 is high possibility still. High possibility. All right, so if anybody's in, we played calls this morning. Made some money on that. Let's watch volume to confirm it. But SPY can continue on to about 523 at very small minimum. 523, 523, then 525. So it's a shot right now. If it can get and hold above 520, I'd watch those two areas. All right, let's see here. But in terms of what we see longer term, SLV looking good. Yeah, because we were talking about that this morning also. I'll pull that up to Eric. So SLV, I expected gold to start to see something from gold, because again, we talked about people moving from, well, it's just recovering. And another thing I wanted to point out with the market, yeah, see, it's doing the recovery thing a little bit. So it's a situation where people are moving their money out of soft assets to on the hard assets. The VIX was up freaking like crazy. I forget what number it was at. I think it was like 50. We talked about it going to 35. So there was nothing in the way of the VIX. Let's take a look at that. Silver is looking good. Oops. The VIX. Where's VIX at now? VIX back at, okay. So we talked about this the other day, $35 being the area. But once you broke 35, forget it. This thing ran out of the damn atmosphere. 66 on the VIX. Jeez Louise. A 61% run. If you had VIX calls from the other day. Jeez. But anyways, yeah, this has been a straight rocket ship. The VIX is up 300% from July, end of July for 31st. So it's a couple days ago. 300% up on the VIX. Crazy. Anyway, going into hard assets and stuff like that, Bitcoin fell off the earth last night, and the one that was really interesting to see was the DXY falling at the same time as the SPY was, which was really crazy to see to me. Usually they run inverse of each other, but you got the dollar and the SPY. That's like telling you like the economy was just like the faith in of the U.S. economy was just like really down at an all-time low for the last day or two. All right, that's just kind of what it looked like. But that was interesting to see. When I saw that last night, I'm like, the market's about to see some crazy numbers, and obviously it did. But yeah, but silver looks like it's ready to bounce up pretty nicely. situation here. Silver, gold, getting out of that downtrend, recovering quite nicely. $25 should happen pretty quickly. $25.50. So silver looks good to the upside again from this point, but the overall trend is still up. And the overall trend is still up. And SPY is actually back above here, trying to go back toward that 525 level. So good luck if you guys are taking me up on that. Hopefully that works out for you to the upside for 525 on SPY from where it is now currently. You can make some money on that game. All right. 523 target 1, 525 target 2. All right, let's see here. Other than that, so it is a breakout on the SPY on the 5-minute. This is a confirmed breakout. You needed to get it above 520.44. If you get above 520.44, you're going to 524, 523, 524, 525 zone. So this would be your target area. We're going to just draw a little happy face thing here in case anybody wants to take the play. And you're watching for volume to confirm it. Let's put it here because it's going to take a while. Watch volume to step up to the upside because you got to break out of this average. And you're waiting for 520.44 to break above, and then you get up that way. So let's keep that there. Let's see if it actually hits. AMC's pushing back up. It is a little bit. And 475. All right, 475 AMC. All right, bear with me 1 second, guys. Let me just grab something real quick. I got, let's see. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. Like, I don't think the market is going to crash. We all knew that this was a correction that was happening. I don't think we're not going to crash. This is part of the game. My man. J. Cole don't play, man. J. Cole hops in, bro. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Congratulations, man. But that's what we're looking for. If we get that confirmation, it's going to be above 520. You're a little early in, but it's still good money, man. Either way, watching this volume stepping up. But hey, early to early is, could be good sometimes. But in a sense, you watching volume step up slowly like this on the 15-minute chart. You got resistance here, 521. You break that. You broke above that. And now you're looking to go toward the 50, which is $23, max 25. So take your profits at those locations, guys, if you're interested. But be careful, not financial advice, guys. Just point out what I see. All right, Apple. Apple is a beast. All right, so Apple's pushing really nicely. NVIDIA, what are you doing? NVIDIA back above 101. So the market is going to push here, guys. It will recover majority of the move. So again, I did close those puts. Those 530 puts were up about 445%, somewhere around there. And yeah, we're good on that. So the market is pushing back up. Apple is looking really good as well. Apple again is up almost $30, but it was the best looking blue chip out of all of them, and it's actually looking like it might get a breakout here, guys. Apple can move up to 218. All right, if it breaks its descending broadening wedge, watch out. Apple will be right back in the game, and the SPY will definitely go to 525. So in my opinion, you got to watch multiple charts here, guys. You can't just watch the SPY only, because that's only a piece of the pie. But if you watch the entire pie, this did not hit the bottom trend line. All right, that would have been a good location to get in. Now it's at resistance. If you break this resistance, it will go. I can definitely see you retesting the bottom side of this uptrend, and you will touch about 218. Maybe a little bit, 215 probably be a better number. And the SPY will go. Tesla's recovering pretty nicely as well. So Tesla's back up above 200. So yeah, we're looking good in terms of a bounce play. All right, so if you got not out of those puts, guys, you guys were in the longer term puts, get out of those longer term puts, man. I mean, if you hit your target, you take your money. Don't be a hero. Simple as that. All right. But I wanted to post this up. It's just always interesting to see it. New paradigm. Let's see. Copy image. Go back to. You've probably seen this before. I'm gonna go back to the daily. Shout out to Little Brother, the minstrel show. If anybody knows this one, old school right here. Update the state. Yeah, we loving it. All right, hold on a second here. We're gonna go in. All right, all. Let's see what that looks like. See if it matches up. Nah, it won't let me do it. Okay. Let's hide the drawings. Let's hide the indicators. I need to keep the drawings here. All right. Let's take a look and see how that looks. Right. There's always this setup. All right. Is this kind of let's see if it matches. Look-alike, where you get that fake out, and it's the market. Let's see. The market moved up like that. All right. After this dip, I'm trying to line this freaking thing up. Bear with me a second, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys see the market cycles chart. Just like to post it. Oh, Joe Scudder, my man. You know what I'm talking about. AJ Cole, man. You be knowing some stuff, bro. I see that. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Alright, anyways, you see this whole setup? This greed setup. We were in greed for quite a while, all right? This whole move from 409 in the SPY. You can say 409, but you can really say more recently. You probably say this whole greed setup from 519 all the way up to 565. All right, we were like in this phase here, that one. So this whole entire move, I know it's a little messy. Let me see if I can remove a couple things just to kind of clean this up a little bit. But I know it's a lot of lines. I mean, you gotta have a lot of lines to know what the hell you're talking about all the time. But anyways, you guys got me. This entire move here was all greed. All right, new paradigm. Yeah, denial. Oh, this is a fake out. We're going downwards. Obviously, we saw that and then move. The wave 1 move to the downside. Got the wave 2 move, or I don't want to say wave. I say corrective phase. Corrective phase 1. Corrective phase 2, which is the move back up. So it's A, B. I'm not saying we're gonna get all of this. I mean, if we get that, we will get capitulation. This is if we break below $500. If we break 505 and that actually happens, you will get capitulation, and then we'll get this. That will be disgusting. I don't think we're gonna get that. I don't think we're gonna get that. All right, we got the media attention, we got the enthusiasm, we got the greed, we got the delusion. Is this the return to normal? This was the fake out. You see how that lines up? It repeats itself. All right, this is just what happens. So we got this this fake out set up right here. Is return to normal. So the fake out was return to normal, and what they do, they slammed it back down, which is where we're at now. We got slammed, literally slammed down, hitting an uptrend, which in this case we're below an uptrend, which sucks. But in reality, we are following the way the stocks move. All right, this is just how it is. Don't know why, but they move like this over and over again. It's just, again, pattern recognition is another one of those things that take in consideration because patterns repeat to a degree. This is different than fractals, in my opinion. I know people like fractals, but pattern recognition, history kind of repeats itself. All right, pay attention to history. Too many people put more faith in what's happened in the past 24 hours than they have in the past 100 years. All right, it's a quote from Will Durant. If anybody reads a little bit, all right, smart guy, pretty damn smart guy. He wrote one of the books here that talks about history. He's a historian. All right, but that's basically what he was. Put more faith and understanding of what happened in the last 100 years versus what's in the most recent 24 hours, and you'll pretty much unlock a lot of different things. And this is what's happening here. So pattern recognition is what we're seeing here, and it's playing out just the way this looks. So we'll start to get the media attention. We may get a dip below. We might hit this area, which is again about 525, and then we're going to see what happens around 525. If this is exactly where we are, where it's this despair area where we are here, which is underneath the most recent support, I mean, my recent support line is here, so technically speaking, we would be already in the despair area. 525, in my opinion, is going to be the return to mean, which is basically a recovery zone, quote unquote, right? So if we do get above it, then we might see some things, which I think is still going to happen at least 620 at some point in time. I'm gonna keep saying that number the same way I said 564. I'm gonna keep saying 620 for now, all right, until we see it. Don't know when it's gonna happen. Can't tell you when it's gonna happen. However, that's what I'm seeing overall. But this is basically the layout we're seeing on the market in general, and we have to have been aware of this to know what could potentially happen to the downside. And here we are. So let's give it a minute, see if 525 actually holds, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So once again, shout out to everybody that's up in here. I appreciate you guys being here on the stream. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. You know, we're here every single day, pretty much. After I'm done with the Discord stuff early in the morning, we do our powwow. We go over some charts, make some money, and then we hop in on here to make sure you guys know what's going on with us and what's going on with these markets. So here we are, guys. Just want to at least point that thing out, because that's pretty important to at least pay attention to, because these things will fall by the wayside, and you know, we can forget a few things if we don't go back to them every now and again to revisit. All right, Drift, you already know what I'm talking about, man. This is knowledge out here, man. Knowledge is power for real. But in terms of Apple is getting this breakout, guys. So we talked about it. Here it is. Apple's getting a breakout. 215 can be coming. If you break 215, you're going to 217, 218. Apple can recover the entire market, and SPY will go to 525 right toward the happy face. Don't forget that. All right, Airdrop, what's happening, friend? Welcome back. Yeah, the market is, you know, they're capitalists, right? This is a capitalist society, right? So, and you know, it's a lot of ways it's corruption. You know, there is going to be corruption because they're capitalizing off of, you know, people not knowing certain things. So when we say knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power because of the fact that you know, and the wool can't be put over your eyes again. And this is really all we do. This is really all I'm about, right? Making sure that people understand how not to let the wool get pulled over their eyes again. Now, it takes work, that takes understanding, that takes studying, that takes time. But once you go through it once, you shouldn't go through it again, right? Fool me once, fool me twice, right? You know, you guys know that old saying. But with this being the case, you know, everybody, especially everybody that's in the AMC GME movement, right? The retail investor situation. We've had a lot of time to learn this stuff. You know what I mean? And this is where it comes in handy. We lived through the bear market, right? If you survived that bear market, you should know what's up. All right, we just lived through one of the craziest bear markets of all time, especially over the last 2-3 years. But we should know what to expect now. Even if you lost, you should be able to get it all back. And I believe if anybody follows what's up, you know, everything will be returned back to you twofold. All right, that's real. All right, no doubt. Just talking the talk, man. You know. But here goes Apple, man. So Apple, if it gets this full break here above this descending broadening wedge on the 15-minute, Apple will push up. It's not a squeeze, but it will squeeze, quote unquote. All right, it's a squeeze. It's not the squeeze, but you can get up to about 215. This recent resistance line, or what it used to be support anyway, but now what is once support then turns into resistance. So 216, 217 is on tap for Apple, and the SPY will push up. But you can see everything's recovering. Tesla's recovering. NVIDIA is now back above 101. Is it breaking daily highs? It is trying to push above day highs. So 102.37. It's only a couple cents away. You can get about 103 to 106 on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA looks fantastic. But right now we're going to pay attention to here. You can see I have my buyer order blocks and seller order blocks in place. Seller liquidity is sitting right over here on the 15-minute. But you're going to have to get above this big resistance. This is at 103, which was when that presented itself the other day on the major sell-off after having that 20% run up. That was reversed on NVIDIA. So we're going to revisit the bottom side of that. All right, that's, again, it was once support, and it will now turn into resistance. And here we go again. If you get above this, NVIDIA will squeeze to 106. I don't want to, got to use that word loosely. But you know what I mean. We'll push up to 106. The market will also run with along with Apple and run to 225 to revisit that major resistance area we've been talking about at 225. So I'm actually going to turn that to pink because we're below it. easier to see. Actually, I'm going to add an additional line here just to be on the safe side. I still need to know where that creek line is, so I'm going to be slightly below it just so it's easy to visually know where we are. I'll put it right here. All right. So I need to visually know where those lines are at all times. That's how I set my stuff up, so I can make quick decisions and understand where I am quickly versus having to guess. All right. Oren, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the stream. I think this is my first time seeing your name. So, Oren, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. I totally appreciate that. All right. Got some sounds from some Jay Dilla in the back, and anybody knows that's about J. Cole, that seemed like you might know. All right. But anyway, we're just listening here, charting some charts, chilling out. That's why we call it chart and chill. Build value, make some money, hopefully, along the way. All right. Let's see here. But NVIDIA is getting slapped. Apple's getting slapped. GME did make a nice little rise above $20 for a quick moment. Right. Off that push, it is trying to test that creek line. Let's go back and take a look at GME. GME was at a creek, but you got a little volatility above the 4-hour creek here at $20.03. It's trying to refill this gap here. Gap that was created off the major sell-off. It'd be nice for GME to get back and hold above $20.03 and then eventually make its way back towards $21.24. If you see that, GME is going to make some moves happen, man. I'm starting to believe. I would start to believe. I already did believe, but it further, give me more of a reason to believe that it's going to be moving in the direction that we'd like to see it go. But it will take some time, and this is a shakeout of large proportions. I like this heavy volume coming in on the 4-hour chart compared to more recent volume. See this volume here? Above the average line, above all the selling pressure that came in. This is a great sign of potential pushes back up or reversal. To see high volume pushing this thing to the upside. All right, this is what we want to see. Confirmations of reversal usually happen from high volume hammers, high volume tweezers, things like that will give you the confirmation of reversal. This is the starting sign of it. And in this case, you know what I mean? In this case, we are seeing something like that coming from GME. Now, again, we don't know for sure. But all we could do is use technical analysis to give us an idea of where we could potentially go. All right, but SPY is kind of falling back here. What are we now? Getting very close to the market sell-off. Not sell-off, I don't want to say that, but the market lunch break, which will probably cause some volume to start to stave off a bit. So we got to keep that in mind. But again, GME is looking good. High volume on a 4-hour time frame, which wants to push this back up and save it from falling into the clutches of the minus below 1750, which is pretty bad to be beneath. If we get there, we'll probably go back towards 15. If we go below 1750, we'll probably see 15, 14, possibly even 9. All right, we don't want that. And I'm pretty sure nobody wants that. But we'll see. All right, we will see. But so far, it is looking okay for potential time to start to reaccumulate. All right, reaccumulation would be something like this. From here, just stepping up. You might get a little wick down. Start the wick up. Try to get up here. 24. Come down, retest. And then start to go towards 29 and then back up here. But this would be a large-scale reaccumulation if we can hold in this area. Now, if we lose it, forget about it. We're going to retest 17, and then we're going to go down. All right, possibly $8, $9. That would suck. All right, we don't want that. It has to hold here. Has to. Cannot go any lower than this, or GME is gonna, it's gonna look really bad. So it's at the final countdown in this sense. All right. Yes, sir. Good stuff. Positive insights. Appreciate you, man. Hey, I appreciate it, Oren. Thank you very much, man. We're here just doing this thing, and we're doing it together, man. That's all it is. All right, let's see here. What else we got? AMC, what are you doing? AMC's trying to survive. I need AMC back above 492 to reverse this H pattern. Needs to get back above 492 to retest those creeks at 510 and 513. You retest those, you break it. Our larger descending creek. Let's talk about that real quick, since you guys all understand or have seen the creeks in action. You may not fully understand it. Hopefully, we can go over that one day. Well, let's see here. The descending creeks, and it still doesn't look great, but it looks like it's caught its bottom. All right, for now. I would like to see. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get a move, but they delayed the hell out of this thing, man. It's probably pushed back another month. I want us to see us. I would love to see us above 20 bucks. It's probably pushed back to October, easy. Maybe even November at this point. Just sideways trade this thing for so damn long. But anyways, AMC needs to get back above. There's no other way to put it. It has to get back above 492 to start to break those creeks. Let's take a look at the 4-hour creek. Where is that currently stationed? 4-hour creek is now at 512. So it's just pushing down lower and lower and lower. 527 is no longer it should no longer serve as the area where everything sucks. It should now be much lower. 515. 515, 56, 512. That's going to be the big area now. So 527, you guys have been watching that, obviously. And the 6-hour creek is now at $5.99. 597. So the creek is pushing, all the creeks are pushing down. We need the buying pressure to start to push up. And they have to, once they meet each other in the middle, that's where you get the ignition and this thing will take off. But it's the way this is setting up is just a time delay. So if we were to go ahead and extrapolate it, like I like to do sometimes, I know there's a lot of lines here. So I'm gonna have to do a couple things to at least remove a few so we can clearly see it while we discuss this.
The greatness of Anna Hall and the rest of Team USA wherever you are with Xfinity Mobile. Now,
let's leave it like this for a minute. If I were to do just to try to an attempt to try to time this thing, because I know a lot of people are more concerned with time. You know, it's always when, right? The when concept. when moon, when this, when that. All right. This is the way you do it. You just basically get an idea of when they meet. All right. If the creek continues on this path on the 6-hour time frame, while this support, rising support, continues on the 6-hour time frame, that will land us around October 11th, 2024. All right, it's creating a large wedge. All right, to this side, to that side, you're creating a wedge. As long as you hold these areas, if you break down, it's a whole different story. But if you can continue to hold these areas and the creek continues to move down while price risk moves up when they meet in the middle, that'll land you here at about October 24th, October 2024, which would be somewhere around, I guess, close to the option expiration date of October. I mean, they pushed this thing OPEX to OPEX to OPEX to OPEX, and now we're going to wind up in October. If it doesn't happen before then, we would get a boost, hopefully, at that point. Wouldn't be a high boost because we're still underneath rising support currently. So this is now going to serve as resistance. What was once resistance, support will turn into resistance if you below it. So that would push this move back to about October for a potential push towards $8. If they really push this thing back that far, $8 in October. So we got another 2-month time frame to get there. So it is what it is, man. I mean, hey, this is where we're at now. We have no more catalysts. We have no more earnings to deal with. We already got the information on what's happening with pushing out of debt. There's no catalyst at this point. So in reality, it's just going to be technical analysis until it actually happens, or the market turning around in a favorable condition, or surprise news. But this is what we're up against right now in AMC. I'd be looking at about $8 probably going into October. They just stunted the entire setup that was here after the squeeze up to $13. Can it happen early? Of course. But right now, as it stands, we got to look at it from what it is currently. All right. All right, let's see here. What we got going on? Yes, sir, J. Cole, you know what I'm talking about. Car could take weeks to recover, but I think Steve Rice says it could take weeks to recover, but I think it could recover really quickly. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm looking for the recovery to start taking place in mid-August. You know, if it's again around the Jackson Hole Symposium with your host, Jay Powell. All right, he's the guy, and I don't think he'll say anything else that's going to tank this thing. I think at that point, it's going to be a recovery at that point. But GME is now finally above $20.03, which is good to see. All right, and AMC is still here chilling. All right. I think September. Yeah, I think September is possible. September's possible. And drop 39 months if they were created long positions of AMC 3 years ago. It should be expiring September. It's a high possibility. I can see that being the case. I hear $5 on AMC and then I realize it's actually 50 cents. Yeah. Hey, but you know that's the thing. I think this is behind the concept of his 4D chest that he was talking about. The 4D chest thing is in relation to the free shares you got. Number one, if everybody held at 8, you know, I know a lot of people have felt two ways about that. If everybody held at 8, they got free shares, and they were also given the opportunity to buy them at 66 cents. So in actuality, if everybody really piled in or whatever, the average down at that time when it was so cheap, if they were willing to pay $70 for shares when they were at $70, you know, if they were able to pay that same $70 price target for shares when they're at 66 cents, you know, most people should have their average very, very low, you know, at this point. I mean, it sucks. It's still 50 cents from a perspective of where it's at. But in reality, based upon his 4D chess move, I get where he was going with it. It just didn't make sense at the time. And then he reverse split it. So in actuality, if everything was kept the same and everybody kept buying, never sold, and was, you know, and took the opportunity of the same prices they were paying when they were all-time highs versus where it was most recently, then, but nobody would have known that stuff at the time, right? No, there's no way to know that we were going to continue down like this, or Judge Zern was gonna, you know, rule the way she did at the time. There was no real way to know that it was actually gonna play out. He said 4D chess. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit in that sense. You know, but he's still the boogeyman, so I don't really. I'm gonna leave that at that. But in general, you know, wow, here goes SPY, guys. Let me just go back to SPY. SPY is now heading towards $22, $5.22. So congratulations if you took me up on that. Was happy face. He's getting mighty close, isn't he? All right, so congratulations, you guys are moving toward the happy face. 525 and rent 523 is going to be your target to take some profits. If you get a little bit more, take it. Okay, do not try to be a hero and go past $25. CVNA is going to be recovering quite well. Again, this is another one. I didn't drop my CVNA calls. I'm still in $200 CVNA calls because of that monthly cross up. All right, and let me go and take a look at that real quick. But those are for September. Hopefully we get something here. All right, so CVNA is a big reversal. All right, recovered this entire movement was back green, so I'm down on my CVNA calls for $200, but we'll see. It's all good. You know, SPY basically hedged my entire setup for everything. The SPY puts. Let's see here. Used to be one Lambo, now it's one get off the public bus. That's a good one. Yeah, man, it's crazy, B. It's crazy. Win Lambo, win Moon. But nah, as far as that's concerned, man, it's crazy, man. I know a lot of people are just hurt off this thing, man. But this is why we're here, man. This is why we try to be here every single day. And I've been here for 3 years. You know, maybe not in this capacity. Not live streaming every single day, but I've been around. And people, if you guys have been around, you guys have probably seen my tweets for the last 3 years. You can go dig through them. You know, I'm one of the only ones that's been here since 2021, despite what anybody else is saying. All right. May not have the notoriety as a lot of the other guys, but I've been here. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Other than that, so SPY is making that move, looking good. It's gonna find some resistance here, but once you get here, that's why I just follow volume. This is the 15-minute chart. Follow volume. Let's go a little shorter time frame. Let's take a look at the 13. Yeah, it's gonna be some resistance here. It's a good spot to take your money. All right, target 1 and target 2 don't have to hit. Target 2 does not have to hit. All right, target 2 is what a happy face is, but it doesn't have to hit. It can get stunted right here. But I like the way volume is stepping up on the 5-minute and then in decreased diminishing fashion on the downside sell pressure. So if it can hold above 520.44, All right, 520.44 is going to be your pivot zone. You get above there, you can hold it. That's basically a retest. Push above, retest, and hold it. Trickle, you'll probably start to round out to go one more time, probably going into the end of the day. So that's what we're watching for. What's your honest opinion on NVIDIA? NVIDIA is, let's go back to NVIDIA. NVIDIA can go to 103. 106 probably top. I mean, NVIDIA is, when you're talking about from the perspective of value, or you're talking about, well, NVIDIA that's a nice setup right here. Like, you see this high volume, all right, it tells you NVIDIA wants to go up. Now, is it matching most recent volume? It's above most recent volume on the 4 hour. So this looks very reversally, all right? It wants to possibly go back up. Now, it doesn't have to, but it's setting up for it, all right? It looks like the end of a trend, right? If you guys have if one book to read, I recommend, right? It's also part of one of the in the Discord is one of the ones I recommend as one of the reading material in there is reversal trading secrets. All right, it's one to check out. Take me up on it. It's a good one. The secrets on reversal trading. All right, it's one to check out. I'll post it up here. This is out of the Discord, just so you guys can see it. I want you guys to be on the page at least. So when we talk, we know what we're talking about. But if you guys are interested, again, sign up for that waiting list, and then you guys can go. We can go more in detail, more in depth in there later on. But it is one to check out, guys. But this again, high volume push up. This volume bar pushes to the upside. Most recent volume, it is slightly above high levels of recent volume, so it could be a reversal on the way. 506 would be the level. You break 506 on a 4 hour. Excuse me, 106 on a 4 hour. You might have a chance for this thing to reverse all the way back up to 121. All right, let's see what else here. But in terms of what I see for NVIDIA, NVIDIA in my book still has to hit 180. But I don't know when it's going to happen though. That's the only thing. But again, it's going to probably coincide with the levels I have on SPY to 620. So I'm going to keep saying that number now. All right. So it's going to take a while. It might all happen now. It may take months. But 620 is my level on the SPY after this move down. So it may coincide with that. All right. 3-day. NVIDIA just hit the 50 on a 3-day time frame and bounced. All right. We talk about this. I will post a link here in case you guys would like to go and give it a shot on a specific type of training that I've put together on the Discord. I've turned it into a small course in case anyone wants to take a look at that. If you'd like, it's up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine. It doesn't bother me either way. However, it's an opportunity to learn what I'm talking about when you see these things I'm posting here, to take advantage of them in a much quicker way. All right. Let's see here. October is valid. Yeah. What's your best idea of NVIDIA? Okay, we answered that. NVIDIA, I think, is undervalued. I think it still can go, but I think it's going to coincide, like I said, with SPY going up to 620. I think NVIDIA has legs to 180 still. Let's see. Yeah, I've been here and stuck it out. Or I just hope you're not using AMC for clicks, which it doesn't feel like that now. Nah, I'm not. If you go back through my tweets, bro. Like you'll see me. I don't have a check mark on my thing, man. I don't have no blue check marks. Never did. I don't even think I have. I barely have 2,000 followers on Twitter. It just is what it is, man. Like that's not the case for me. I've been on this. I've been in this play. I've been in it with you guys the entire time. All right, my first buy is on AMC in September and in February of 2021. All right, there's that meme going around with what's his name on it, with Wolverine holding the $72 price point. I made that meme. That's me. It's floating around all over the place still, but I created that. You see what I'm saying? So like it's still floating around, people laughing. I remember those days. He's like touching the screen, and he's touching the He's touching the price at 72. I created that, and that was made years ago. All right, so it's just one of those things, man. I'm here. No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you, man. All day, all day. All right. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, man, but NVDA. Let's see. I just want to go back to NVDA, but yeah, NVIDIA could be reversing here. It could be reversing. This buy volume is above average on the daily, right? It's above average buying volume. So NVIDIA could start to try to fight this thing out. But I did expect it to go hit 95. We even talked about it here on the money that was hitting the tape, right? Last week or a couple weeks ago. All right. Let's see here. We talked about 95. $3 million in puts was put into NVIDIA for 95 strikes. I mean, that tells you something. That tells you something. Let me see. Let's see what kind of money's on the tape now. It's actually a good time to check that while we're talking. What are they saying? LLY got $2.4 million in puts on LLY. That's a pretty pricey stock. Let's see here. Let's see. We got LLY. LLY 204 million. Oh, sorry, 2.04 million puts for 750 strike for January 2025. Why would you say that? Well, I can see why you would say that. This thing is dumping. Let's find out. Yeah, I can see why you say that. But everything looks like this. Well, would you confirm it? How would you confirm this? Why would you say that? $2 million on puts for LLY. I mean, it fell off a mountain real quick, as everything did this morning. 200 moving average is at 742. I see why. You're below a volume shelf on the 23-hour. Next support line, that makes sense. So buying volume is not really stepping in enough on LLY on the daily. I mean, it's still early. Let's go back to the 4-hour. Still early. Let's see if there's any platinum cross downs, which there is on the 4-hour. So it has 2 platinum cross downs, which confirms that it wants to go down. All right, your support, next support here is at the 800, 739. So you platinum cross down here once, shot down. Came up, fake out, platinum cross up, then platinum cross down again. All right, so now you got this setup here, which cost you at cross down 5%, cross back up, fake out in pre-market, so it doesn't count, cross back down again, 7%. So ultimately the trend is still down on a 4-hour. So this thing wants to go down. So I can see why they just put $2.4 million on puts on LLY. But these are for January 17th, 2025. So they're going to stretch this out. I'm pretty sure they're not going to hold all the way through. But what they're looking at is downside on LLY. So yeah, you just heard that. You can make your own assumptions on it. It's good money. It's good money. It's a possibility on this. So opportunity, but again, watch for the fake outs here in the market. The market is in a spot where it wants to decide what it wants to do. All right. Let's see what it wants to do here. But NVIDIA's kind of topping out, hitting that 103 mark we talked about. Didn't touch it yet. It's trying to revisit it. We're almost there. But that would be the area. That's the do or die zone, all right? That 103 area. And then from there, you're either going to drop down toward lower numbers, which would be insane to me. I highly doubt that with all this high volume. Or you'll get a break above, retest, and then you start to push back towards 115. So NVIDIA is in a spot. A good spot, in my opinion. But that should, again, we already touched the top side of the SPY's gap fill. So we'll see. We'll see. It's in a very, if it doesn't hurry up and do it now, it's gonna get a 4-hour cross down. 4-hour cross downs on NVIDIA would not be good. All right, that means the market's not done, and the market probably can go towards 498. I know that sounds crazy now, but you get this cross down on NVIDIA in a downtrend, NVIDIA will come right back down screaming, and it'll go to 85 bucks, maybe lower. That would be nuts. I'd probably have to sell. My average is what is $43 on NVIDIA right now. I mean, it was prior to reverse split. However, you can, yeah, it can get ugly. 85 bucks. Maybe not, but you know what I mean. But this is it's a high volume push. That's the one thing right now that's saying that this wants to possibly come up. So you gotta give it some time. But if it, see how it acts, or how it reacts around 103, 103.30, 103.39, or so. We gotta see how it reacts, because if it comes and it fails and it serves as resistance, I don't know. NVIDIA might be hurt. Might be hurt for a little while, and the market will also come down pretty hard if NVIDIA doesn't really react. All right, appreciate you, J. Cole, no doubt. Appreciate you, Wade. Appreciate all you guys up here. Once again, you guys can be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. I totally appreciate that, guys. Once again, hit the like button while you're up in here. Subscribe if it's your first time through. We're doing this for you guys, doing it for all of us. You guys, it's a symbiotic relationship. So you guys give me energy to continue to push through this thing, and hopefully provide value in return, man. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, what else we got going on here? GME is now pushing back, trying to recover this move, and it's starting to look really good. I love the volume on this thing. This is looking really good on GME. The volume is saying that, okay, we're done. All right, again, secret to reversal trading, guys. Definitely go pick that up. All right, high volume off of this move is signaling bottom. All right, it's signaling bottom. It's telling you that this no longer wants to push down. See that? So it may have moved GME into a spring setup. Now, I know it's I don't want to call it spring because it's still at the end of a downtrend. However, it looks like a bottom situation. All right, not saying that you want to go buy calls now forever for the just saying this is a potential for move away for further confirmation, but this could be the start of a recovery, of a reaccumulative move on GME. So GME is looking good as long as it can hold above $20.03. GME has a shot. Yeah, typically speaking, you get these high volume you get these high volume sell-offs, right? They typically will be the start. You get an automatic reaction, you get a bounce, generally speaking. So that's Wyckoff now. Wyckoff after these big moves is always a reaction to try to catch a knife. All right, so in this case, this could just be an automatic reaction. We never filled the gap. We didn't fill it. The automatic reaction happens when it catches the knife, it pushes back up, and then you continue to sell off. So that's natural movement on stocks. Now, the only reason I'm saying that it can be a possibility that we haven't hit it is because we hit the targets, number one, close to it, and then number two, if we are finishing this wave, this corrective C move, we're just going to be in a bounce phase, which is now going to be an ABC correction. To the on the reverse side. So we just basically bounce up, bounce down, kind of bobble around a little bit until we start to make the move back up. But again, that doesn't mean that the move to the downside is over yet. It still means that we're just kind of hanging out. But the one thing about it, again, talking about secrets of reversal trading, is high volume. High volume is telling you that that bottom is most likely in. So that's another reason. So you have two situations. As again, the corrective move that we talked about, the C correction, which looks like we just completed, and then you got high volume coming in to reverse the move back to the upside, telling you that this is where buyers are this is where they're making the last stand here. That's a very high volume candle here to push the market up. All right. So this could be bottom. I mean, we saw it today. We saw 507. Again, I'd like to include pre-market because it gives us the most information to see and make our real decisions, not just around. And a lot of people like to use only market time hours, but the real details can be, filled in on the pre-market and post-market stuff. The details matter in this case, right? This is why I pride myself on specific numbers, specific targets, and stuff like that, is because I utilize it of those other pieces of information to know where we're at, and that's why pre-market and post-market are important. But in this case, we hit 507, right? We hit 507. We didn't have to go all the way down to 505. We slightly missed it. We could go up from here, but we also could go down from here. But right now, this is the general area. If you had puts or whatever the case is, you play in conscious of the market. I believe, Wade, I think you were still in SQQQ. If you holding on to those, boy, you did nice. you did pretty nice. All right. So in that situation, you played conscious of the market. You played UVXY, or you played, whatever, VIX, or whatever the case may have been. We're in that spot now. This is signals to get out of those downside moves. Same thing. If you saw high volume selling pressure, if we're up at the top, those would be signals for you to get out, or low volume buying pressure. They're telling you the opposite. That's also another one of those signals to use. Volume to your benefit. So volume to your benefit is going to give you an answer of locations that tell you to get in and get out. They'll give you supports and resistances, and then from there, you make your decisions. But you got to move when the moves show up. You can't just let these things ride, or else you're gonna wind up in a problem. All right, but AMC is looking good for recovery. So is GME actually. So GME above $20.03. AMC is trying to get back above $4.92. AMC is also showing us this example. All right, high volume is starting to show itself here as well. All right, these are off of these support levels. All right, these lines we always talk about. So, yeah, right now we're looking all right. We're looking like there's a possibility for everything to start to turn around. So we gotta. No words, man. It's not deja vu. Hold on a second. Gotta take the words off. All right, so AMC is also showing, AMC sucks right now overall, but it is showing us some signs of life. High volume above recent price action, which is good to see. He said, I think we got some more good sell-off more soon. I remember one of the really smart financial guys saying someone will close when NVIDIA hits 90. Close put positions? Just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Wait, are you talking about close on another stock? AMC. Just kidding. But now let me know which one you're talking about though, because that'd be interesting. But this right now is starting to look like another fake out. This is crazy, man. AMC is just driving people to drink out here, man. Let's see here. This is another. AMC has so many like fake out. It's crazy. Is this a fake out? Let me just double check this one more time, man. This is freaking nuts. Why don't they just let the damn stock go? Get your, you know what I'm saying? Get off of it. Just let it go. All right, indicators real quick. This is a reversal setup, but it needs to reclaim this area right here. Just let it go, man. Come on. It needs to reclaim here. This wedge and this bull channel. This is going to be very, very strong resistance because obviously you're dealing with two situations. Oh, you done with SS? Okay, you done with it? Hopefully it didn't get you, man. Hopefully it didn't get you too bad. I mean, I know you made some money off of that thing on the first job. I know you made some money off of that. It's good to see, man. But you know, we've been here, man. We've been here. We figured it out. Hopefully, you know, it's all coming together. And deja vu, we back like we never left. All right. What else we got here? It's now moving into the time frame here of lunch. Let's see what else we can make happen here on this thing. So we're going to get lower volume for the most part. You got to expect lower volume around this time of day. But AMC is looking kind of good, man. I'll say that. GME also holding above $20.03. That's a creek. GME might have hit bottom. So is AMC. Might have hit bottom again for the 15th time. All right, but AMC is looking good. I'm going to say that again. If it can get above 492, AMC will be right back in the game again. It's like the stock that, you know, they're trying to kill it, but it won't die. All right. Zombie stock. It is a zombie stock right now. Wow. AMC is back above 491, guys. AMC is back above 491, my friends. They're trying to kill this thing, but they just have not been able to do it. So here goes Apple. Sorry, the SPY is trying to revisit. So let me go and take out LLY. LLY, we talked about the $2 million in puts that are on the tape here for January for 750 puts. Let's see if they actually wind up getting that money in. But in the meantime, let's take a look at SPY, because right now it is, again, high volume on the push-up. High volume on the push-up, and it's going to hit that happy face. We'll see. It's lunchtime right now. It's lunch. So we got to be careful. But is it going to hit our target? It looks like it may at some point today. Now, you are getting a little bit of a wedge forming here on SPY. You got to watch the volume in this case on the 5-minute here. Watch the volume, but you are getting a wedge starting to formulate itself here for a potential breakout to the upside. So this is what you're kind of watching at this point. So is it going to hit our target? We got him. He's hanging out here. He's waiting. We'll move this over because it's probably going to take a little longer. All right, let's see. So you get the potential breakout, but watch volume right now. It's pretty low. A small wedge. You got a little bit of an uptrend here that's forming. But that's high volume again off of the lows, which is the top of the top side of the gap fill. So only partially fill the gap. So we're watching now for this rising wedge to see if this is actually going to play out. But once you hit it, I expect it to retrace a bit. So it's all lining up right for the top of this area. So I'll put him here. So he's out of the way. So let's see it. Again, pay attention to this. As we're in the lunchtime hours, you get low volume. Price is going up. Volume is coming down. So this may be short-lived. This could be a really high last point of supply. But that was, if you guys caught this move, that was a very, very nice move. We caught this earlier this morning. Only played to about 520. If anybody wants to hold on, that's perfectly fine. But 521, you break 521, hold above 520.44, look for 523, and then 525, high possibility if you break 523. but I would take profits at 523. Don't be a hero. All right. AMC is back above 492. You got to be freaking kidding me. Not kidding me. I'm happy it is. Excuse me. I'm happy. Now, I do have my order blocks in place. All right. We talked about these order blocks earlier on. They represent the buyers and sellers in the area. If you get past the zone, AMC wants to go back to 545 again. Right? It would be at the top, basically re-entering the bull channel. Let me get rid of these for a minute. Re-entering the bull channel, the larger bull channel, then re-entering this broadening wedge, broadening top pattern. You get back in here above $5. AMC will want to go back right back towards 545, 555 again. That would be nuts. But AMC is looking really good right now. I don't know. It's recovering the entire move. We've seen this happen how many times already? Once, twice. This is when they gave the fake earnings news that day, or I don't want to say fake, the re-leaked earning news, right? The early leak earning news, and they recovered immediately. So we're getting another fake out and then a recovery. So that's 2 times this has happened. This is crazy. It's crazy. So I'm going to leave that here. I'm going to go and put the mark for 492. I'm going to mark that off here. Since we are above it now, this is not a creek line. This is just a resistance line. All right, so I'm going to have to mark it a different color. I suggest color coding. Very important. I'll mark this as teal, just so I know what we're looking at. But we're back above 493. J100K, what's happening, man? Right, yeah. We hit 525. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen. I mean, you got, yeah, you know, it's a tough one. You got to get above here though. You got to get above 2160. You get above 2160 again, you'll probably get it. Now, as far as going back to 505, if you get above 2160, getting back to 505 might be tough. It might not happen right away. We'd have to see real rejection at 520. I mean, like a real rejection, high volume rejection at 525. Like volume, like sellers coming out of nowhere, just like dumping the damn thing. All right, that's what we need to see for it to most likely drop back down. But right now, it looks like the bulls are in control currently. I mean, for the short term, not in the long term sense. But you're gonna get this. In my opinion, you're gonna get the 525 probably today. I mean, anything can happen, but you probably get it today. If not, tomorrow. But this is you're down below heavy resistance on the 1 hour, so you'll see. If you get above 2160, that'll be the defining factor. But 2140, even from 2140 that we talked about a minute ago, 520.44, right above that would give a confirmation at least to there. You still could have made money between 520.44 and 521.60. There's a little bit of room for money to be made there. But if you break that, then you should make a real bag, and then you guys should continue on, ready for the next deal. All right. Yeah, J100K, what's up, man? It's looking very good. It's looking interesting. It is back above some levels. It basically recovered its entire sell-off again. All right, we're in a spot where we just reversed the entire deal, man. Like this is dope. All right, sticking around for a few more minutes here, then I'm gonna run to the next thing. But AMC looks good. I can't get mad. It's just I wish there was more volume, like you're saying. It is above recent average. I mean, it needs to dwarf this sell candle at least, but it is above Friday's sell candle, even though that was earnings. All right, so it is above more recent over the last 3 days. This sell candle was high on the 4 hour, but it was barely any price movement. All right, see that in relation to the price movement. This is manipulation. All right, this is there's no other explanation for it. This doesn't make any sense. The amount of movement on this candle versus this amount of volume doesn't make any sense. You see this volume coming in, and then you see this price movement coming. You see these bars. It makes no sense on AMC. Like, this is not standard. So this is why people throw around the idea for manipulation, because it's kind of evident, and it's really all around volume, right? It's really all around volume. But you know, we're playing the charts, man. We're playing the charts. That's all we got. But this is going to be a hard one to break here. If you get back above $5, obviously it's going to be a psychological number. Not to mention a very tough spot to break, because that's when things start to flip again. right? That'll clearly define us as being above this average, or this top, broadening top. We're back in play on that, and then we probably start moving back towards 550. But as long as they keep us under $5, you know, they kind of control it again. But they don't. The thing is, they don't want to lose control. All right, let me see here. Straight up manipulation. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. It is what it is, man. All we got is these damn charts, man. That's it. And nobody's coming to save us. You know, there's nobody coming in here to bail it out. None of that. All right. This is why it's even more important to understand what we're looking at. We've had so many years to really figure this out. All right, but we're in another descending broadening wedge on this time frame. Another fake out setup. We barely touched that bottom trend line. I mean, I know there's a lot going on here, but this is another one of those setups. Again, another fake out, which is going to lead to another breakout at what number? Good old 527. It has not stopped. All right, if we get back above $5, 527 will come in effect. It will play as a downtrend potential breakout to the upside, and AMC can run again. But now, as time looks on, it's looking like they push this thing back further again. So those moves have been stunted at this point. But so far, so good. All right, bear me 1 second here, guys. It's a little bit past lunch hour. Hold on 1 second here. Hold on a second. I'll take the words off. Can't have no words in these songs. Don't need no problems with YouTube. All right. Anyways. Bear me a couple seconds here, guys. Just want to grab something for y'all. Something that we already had. Yeah, I hope Q3 is better. I hope it's interesting. Keep an eye out for that. All right. All right, guys, so check this out. I'm going to go and post this in case you guys are interested in taking a look at it. Again, it's entirely up to you. This is a link for a course on, again, following exactly what I'll be posting up here in terms of the momentum trading setup. Your choice if you guys want to take a look at that. Up to you. If you like, great opportunity so we can follow along and start making some money on some of these plays. You can learn how to do them on your own, with or without me up here as well. All right, it's a real quick one. This is a basic one of the courses that we go over in the Discord, without you having to be involved totally on that. You can also go ahead and if you want to get into the Discord, go ahead and send me a DM on Twitter. I go ahead and posted that at the top of the chat here, so you guys can do that in case you need not follow me on Twitter yet. I want you to DM me on Twitter if you want to join the wait list for when it does open back up. Currently, it is currently closed while we do what we're doing in there for the next phase. All right. But again, this is a opportunity of the course to see what's happening there. Up to you guys if you want to jump in. Love to have you. If not, all good. Either way. I appreciate you guys once again. I'm going to get ready to move on to the next thing. All right. But I'm going to keep this here posted. Let me know what you guys want to do. In the meanwhile, let's keep the conversation going on Twitter. All right, follow me on there. See what's going on. All right, let's see what else we got here. So in the meantime, SPY's kind of hanging out. It is at 522. All right, congratulations if you guys took those calls and were able to hold out a little bit because you're about to make a bag. All right, quite simple. All right, you see the bull channel. You see my smiley face chilling there. All right. So this is all we need to know. You got to break out of that wedge. You're pushing up. 522. Remember, take profits around 523 range. Do not become a hero. Do not be a hero. If you get a little more, leave a runner. Let your runners hit 525, and then you take your profit there. All right. Pay attention. Be careful, and then take your profits from there, guys. All right. In the meantime, once again, appreciate you guys being here. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me. I totally appreciate that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Everybody up in here, totally appreciate you guys as well. Mr. Brightside, Mr. Braveheart, Wade, Steve Wright, Drift, Eric, Bang Bang, J. Cole, man, Jason, you already know. All right, Lewis, MMA Uncensored, Eric, we got you as well. Androp, Oren, Positive Thoughts, my man. All right, all you guys up in the stream here today. Totally appreciate you guys once again. J100K, you already know. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same station. You already know what time it is, guys. Let's do this. Congratulations on these plays. Hopefully you guys putting some money in your pockets. Remember, profits in pockets. Volatility creates opportunity. All right, take advantage of it. It's going to be on a new hat coming out soon. Guys, enjoy the rest of the day. Take it easy out here. We'll be back tomorrow, all right? Peace.
Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing
Witness the great